and welcome, everyone. We are No Shots Fired. This is episode 26, Always Rise Again, a testament to our fighting spirit. I'm not actually sure what that's in reference to. I missed
Grittiness.
Part of the conversation, Readiness, where we talked about the title. I am Valen, your host. To my right is Junkblade, your other host, and to my left is Doc, your other host. Although I guess, based on how you're looking at this, it's flip-flopped. Anyway, guys, today we're going to be talking about Hollow Knight, its completion by Junkblade, Rimworld, its continual playing by me, a game that I don't know called Blossom Tales, which I assume garden-oriented. And as always, a Dungeons & Dragons update. Our topic of the week, which is, what is your favorite item in a game? An item you got and you're just like, wow, that's my favorite item. And then we'll take your questions. So now that I've concluded this best intro ever, you know what, before we jump right in the topics, how are you guys doing tonight? I haven't talked to you very much. How's everyone's day going? Thirsty Thursday. Is anybody indulging in a beverage?
I have a Dr. Pepper in the fridge with my name on it for later. And
nice.
Valen, you were not kept out of the conversation about this episode's title. There was no conversation.
I was going to say, did I
something?
Did I miss the
people went along with it? It's a line from a song I really like called "Embers Rise," which is, of course, by Miracle of Sound, and it is a Dark Souls themed song.
Okay.
Well, we're not talking about Dark Souls.
The full line is "Suns will sink to shade, but always rise again." And
You've played this for me, right?
I don't think I have, actually.
Okay.
I think I played like 2 other ones for you.
Well, I feel like with the way you created this sound cloud with your words, I feel like you've played it for me now.
That is fair. Anyway, that was the inspiration for the title, because I think it, to some degree, is our approach to games where we just get so stubborn that no matter how many times we die, we're going to finish the game regardless of whether it wants us to or not.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm very stubborn in that regard. Doc, how's your night going?
Okay. It's not raining, so my basement isn't flooding, so that's good.
Is it still doing that?
Yeah. Well, it only does it when it's like a torrential downpour, which just seems to be what is continuously happening.
Huh.
And I've got quite the maze of pipes outside trying to keep water away from this one corner of the basement, but I can only hold it back for so long. So
the adventure never stops.
Yeah. Home ownership, it's fun.
I think that makes the episode title particularly relevant.
Yes.
Always rise again from your own little swamp.
Yeah, water keeps rising.
And speaking of always rising again, that brings us to Hollow Knight, a game unlike any other where you can respawn if you die.
Yep. Brand new mechanic.
Yeah, never been seen before in any game before whatsoever.
I think it'll catch on.
Well, the idea is revolutionary, because I die and I can't play a game anymore. It's just really frustrating.
So, you can actually do that in Hollow Knight. Once you beat the game, you unlock Steel Soul mode, and if you die just once, the save is over, you're dead, and you have to restart from the beginning.
Oh, goodness.
Which, I'm not going to try, because I know I'm going to die, and then I'll have to start over, and I don't want that.
That would be a real bummer.
Anyway, I have 87% completion on the game, and honestly, I'm good with that for now. I have gotten every ending now, so
wow.
I think well, of course, the DLC just released and there are 2 new endings, but every ending that was in the game I've gotten.
How do you get new endings?
Okay, so you get the first ending by just doing the default thing, and once you destroy the 3 sleepers, you go to the Temple of the Black Egg and you fight the Hollow Knight.
Spoilers, everybody. Sorry. Okay.
I mean,
That's not even really it. They say that super.
you were asking about an ending, so it's
And also, you get
No, I
that-
still want to know. I'm just warning, all of our millions of fans that spoilers lie ahead.
I figured that was implied, given that you were literally asking about how to get the endings.
No, yeah. But people are
After-
so.
After that, you have to go to 2 different places. You have to get the dream nail to 1,800 souls, or dreams, or whatever. It's weird. Anyway, you have to get the dream nail to 1,800 or more. And you have to use it on this thing near the secret station called a King's Mold. And that takes you to the White Palace, which was platforming hell for me.
It was platforming hell. That took forever to get. Speaking of not giving up, I refused to stop doing that, but that was very tedious.
I think one night I intended to go to bed at like 2:30, which is reasonable for me.
Sure.
And then I decided, no, I'm not going to be able to sleep if I let this stupid stage beat me. So I stayed up another like 2 hours to finish the dang thing. It was awful.
To be young again.
It was that part is like the only part of the game that dragged it down for me. That brought it from like a 9.5 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10.
Oh. Well, I mean, there is a really fine line between like a rewarding, like it can turn very quickly from being like rewarding to being like, you know what? Let's just I got it.
Yeah. Junkblade, you know what I did though? So with the platforming thing.
Hello, Aaron Burr. We actually have a viewer, guys.
A real viewer? Aaron Burr, the guy
They
who
said
shot.
hi.
Wait, you're the dude
What?
who shot Hamilton.
I don't have my chat.
You're not the guy who shot Hamilton?
Oh no. Someone else.
Aaron Burr, you're always welcome to follow. We do this podcast almost every week, and we just talk about video games
And media.
And we won't hold it against you that you shot Alexander Hamilton.
Well, hang on.
So are we going to? Our first, Secretary of the Treasury?
I mean, there's like a lot of songs about him and stuff, so. Right? I mean.
Oh.
He has a point. He didn't kill anyone.
I thought he did.
No, he did.
Right. I think if you shoot somebody and they end up dying,
didn't Hamilton's son also die in a duel?
I'm thinking of
that I don't know.
I'm thinking of Grant, aren't I? Who?
Guys, what if his name is actually just Aaron Burr?
Thank you very much for the follow. I think that's what that sound means.
Oh my god, I haven't seen that in... How long has that been since we've seen that? I didn't even know we had a...
I didn't know we had that either.
Hey, we don't mess around here.
Anyway.
It's a very professional channel.
Truly.
Okay.
Truly.
So, spoilers, Aaron Burr, for the game Hollow Knight, because I'm discussing the endings. So, you may want to tune out for the next 5 minutes or so.
Wait, time out. Should we drive away our only actual follower?
Well, we don't know if he's even going to play Hollow Knight.
That's true. Well, let's hear that. We're going to do this, sir. We're going to audible. We're going to run the discussion of Hollow Knight's endings till the end of the podcast, so that he can hang out if he doesn't want something spoiled, and then we'll come back to it. Would you like to buy my? I don't know what this is. I don't know. Should I want to know what a Palo plush is? Is that like
I'm
the
not
paleo?
Googling it. I can tell you that.
I have no idea, and yeah, I'm not going to Google it either.
I'm not very liquid right now, so ones are a little tight.
Anyway,
Okay.
we're just gonna keep moving.
But
We're gonna move on.
Hollow Knight's still good. Are you gonna play the DLC right now, Junkblade, or are you gonna wait a little bit?
I'm going to wait on the DLC. I am Hollow Knighted out for the moment.
Understandable.
Is the DLC, how much is it?
Free.
It's free.
I don't understand that.
You already have the DLC, basically.
Cool. Do I have to actually get in and press something, or do I just...
I assume it's
to my knowledge.
It's an update. If you
Yeah,
don't
it's just an update.
Speaking of updates, Rimworld, here we go, transition. Rimworld just released what should be their last update before moving out of beta. It only took them like 7 years to release the final version of the game.
I thought this game was like out and like...
It's very playable, and it has been for a while. So, I mean, I've never experienced in the last year or two really crashes at all. So
okay, and so what kind of game is it again?
Rimworld is a colony building game.
Okay, I got it.
It's in the vein of, if you're familiar with Dwarf Fortress at all, a game where you, rather than directly control your colonists, of which you have generally anywhere from 1 to, well, could be an infinite number, but it usually caps out around 20, because as you get more people, the challenges you face get harder and they get killed off. But anywhere from 1 to 20 people, you build a base, and rather than, as in some games, you directly control your people, which you can do in this, but generally the way you control them is by setting their work priorities and then doing things like designating a group of trees to be cut down, designating a structure to be built, and then the people with those disciplines and who are healthy enough to complete those tasks will automatically go about working on whatever you designate for the colony. I really like it, though. It's very in-depth. A lot of different factors, ways you have to keep your colonists happy, a lot of fun things that can happen to your colonists, meteor strikes, tornadoes, mechanoid monsters, any sort of... The idea of Rimworld is it's a futuristic world in a very harsh, savage planet that's only lightly colonized, mostly by pirates and monsters. But I've had a lot of fun with it. And again, it's very much in the vein of, a game that's been out for a long time, Dwarf Fortress. Same thing, where you're assigning tasks to a group of people who then go about completing those tasks based on the priorities or work skills they have. And it just had an update that came out yesterday. I don't know. Oh, well, like one fun thing about the update. So Rimworld has a bunch of different starting conditions. You can start with 3 people. That's the standard one. 3 people of modern, like a moderate level of technology. You can have 1 super rich dude who, the backstory, which doesn't really matter that much, is that you got bored on a futuristic planet, decided you wanted to test your mettle against the wild, so you flew to a Rimworld. You can have 5 people from a tribe, the very low technology level, or they added a new mode, which is kind of fun, where you start as 1 naked person without any supplies and try to survive, which I think I've tried twice and I've died twice. That's a little unforgiving because you're
so
just
not a high success rate.
No, I mean, not yet.
Okay.
But I also, another thing that's fun about the game is you have not only you have a difficulty setting, but you have what I would call within the context of that difficulty setting, you have 3 different ways that the computer can throw challenges at you. You have one that's just very seldomly will you get a challenge. You have another where just at the normal game and again, challenges are based on, in general, they're based on your colony size, colony wealth, things like that. So it gives you something that you can handle. I mean, again, based on the difficulty level. So so when, for example, raiders will come and try to destroy your colony. So the number of raiders and how well armed they are is usually a difficulty thing. And then the frequency of raids is based on the AI you pick. And then the one I've been doing, just because I really want to torture myself, is there's one that's just completely random. So at any point, you could just have a group of 10 advanced mechanoids who come and destroy your 1 poor naked guy kind of thing. So I'm really just trying to torture myself at this point because I've played the game so much. So that's what I've been doing.
Okay, so excited for... Is it weird to have played a game that much and be like, all right, time for it to release?
Yeah, very much so. Although I don't know.
I mean, the line is very blurred these days between a beta. Early access is kind of a false term anyway at this point. It's just, do you want to play
especially it? Since I don't... I haven't had... the game doesn't regularly crash or anything. most of the balance issues seem to have been resolved. And if they haven't, I'm not aware of the exploits that other people would use to unbalance the game kind of thing. So I have fun with it. I actually play on, generally you're only supposed to have one colony running at a time, but you can set, if you want, you can change it in the settings so that you can have multiple colonies, which is supposed to break the balance and degrade your performance and stuff. But I like doing that because I like having a group of people like go out and set up an advanced base. Like if we're migrating across the world, then I'll have like little way stations for people to stop at as they're traveling across the planet. I just think it's fun like that.
Cool. I'm always impressed by just the design of those games, and that usually is too intimidating for me to even.
Well, some night I'll have to actually stream it, and
yes,
you can
definitely
build the colony with me.
Put it on the list.
Yeah, the many things we still have to do a randomizer together.
Yeah.
What's your plans like this weekend? Are you free at all?
I should be.
Because we should actually finally do that.
Yes.
Junkblade said he had not a lot of availability. Anyway, I'm talking too much. I want to hear about Blossom Tales.
Okay, so Blossom Tale, The Sleeping King, is a game that I think it's on the Nintendo Switch. I don't know if it's out on anything else. But it's basically a homage or something like that to Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. So kind of top-down adventure game where you've got a sword and a shield, and looks cool. I always enjoy the retro music and all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of a pixelated art style and stuff like that. I do enjoy the stories kind of as being told. It's like a grandpa telling stories to two of his grandkids. And, like, you'll see, like, text bubbles as you're going through the world of, like, them talking.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is a fun, kind of different, way of telling the story for me. And then, like, they'll even... I'll be interested to play it more and see how much based on your actions it is, but sometimes they'll be like, oh, then they did this, and if you don't go that way, they're like, no, they decided to go this way instead.
I like that.
I should have written down the actual example, but no, it's very good so far. Very fun little game. But I haven't maybe 1 or 2 hours into it at this point.
So is this a similar narration style to what's that game you already recommended to me? Bastion?
Oh God.
Because I seem to recall as you're going through that game, there's like a narrator who's like, and then
it's this one's a little more, definitely more whimsical and kind of fun. That one was like it was great. It was very well done, but it was not like a storytelling conversation. It was just like one guy with a badass voice going, well, he keeps dying. I guess he should fight better or something like that. But no, yeah, Bastion is another game that does that very well. That kind of conceit. So yeah, recommend it. And I should play more. I should really play. I need to play other games too.
What?
I need to play Octopath more. I need to. We could go on and on about the list of games I've.
Have you played any Octopath? We should definitely talk about that.
I think I got one more character since the last time I talked about it. I think he's the scholar. So I'm going through like each time. Like the early part of the game is you basically going around and picking up each new character. Then you can go through their, little story bit, so you kind of get to know what their conflict is or what their reason is for going out into the world on an adventure. I'll be very curious to see if these connect at any point, or if it's just kind of, because there's chapter 2s to each person's story, but the level requirement, like I'm level 7 or 8 right now. And, like, the level requirement for Chapter 2 of the first person I started with story is, like, 26. So I'll be interested to see if those stories start to kind of wind together. Because you can go in any order you want, picking up the character. So it's very... I'll be interested to see if it just remains this kind of compartmentalized thing, which could be fine. But, if it connects, I think that would be an impressive storytelling feat. Is what I would But no, still loving the combat, loving the look of it. Music's great.
The art style is fantastic.
Yeah. I really hope that there's more games in this kind of. It just it looks so good. So
we should when we make our epic bowling game, if we did it in that art style, I bet it would be.
Yeah.
I've got just a quick aside since Aaron Burr has thrown out Senior Palo. I have confirmed he is. I'm assuming I'm going to go with Senor Palo. I don't know why
I would assume Senor.
It could be Sir. It could be Senor. It could be Senior. It could just be Sir Palo. But he's got 1.5 million subscribers, so he probably does pretty well for himself.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah. Right?
Man, I don't. Okay, well.
Well, we don't know that he's bad.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just like I don't like the number of people. I'll be like, I've never heard of that person, and then it turns out they have millions of like YouTube. I'm just like, what is happening?
You could easily make a living with 1.5 million subscribers.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to buy a plush of a YouTuber. It's going to be a.
Well, there's a link here. I can get my own. I definitely don't need a second-hand plush. No offense, Aaron. I think I'll go ahead.
Say why you offloading the plush?
I assume Aaron is making his own plushes.
Can I be honest? The term plush, I'm not a big fan of it.
I'm not either.
That's fair.
It's just a weird. I don't know. It's just kind of a.
It's a weird word, right?
Yeah. So, I'm not sure what I mean. Stuffed animal, but that can have multiple meanings, I guess, if you're the taxidermy thing. But.
Oh, plus there are a lot of plushes that aren't of animals.
Yeah.
Strictly speaking.
None of the good ones, though.
What do you have against dragon plushes?
Dragons are animals.
Not really.
They're mythical animals.
What's their genus? And so Kingdom Animalia. You think they're Kingdom Animalia?
They're lizards.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're cold-blooded? I would assume dragons are like dinosaurs where they're warm-blooded.
Aren't dinosaurs lizards?
Not in my fake world.
Were dinosaurs warm-blooded?
I don't know if you had. Is this brought up?
Hang on. No, yeah, dinosaurs are reptiles. Reptiles are cold-blooded.
Dinosaurs aren't dinosaurs are warm-blooded. I don't think dinosaurs were reptiles.
If it helps solve anything,
most of the scientific community believe blah 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 blah. We're cold-blooded.
I thought they were more like birds. Well, then why are people calling dinosaurs birds? Because
I refuse to accept that nonsense.
Just so you guys know, in Dungeons
although
and
dinosaurs
Dragons,
are reptiles, views on them being cold-blooded have changed in recent years. So they're reptiles, but not.
That's not.
Okay. Well,
you can be. Not all reptiles are cold-blooded. Not all of them.
Oh, really?
What's a non-cold-blooded?
Yeah,
I'm almost certain that there are warm-blooded reptiles.
I will trust you on that. We're actually learning a lot tonight, but
here we go, doing it.
But destroying my worldview at the same time, because now I don't have nice compartmentalized, cold-blooded, warm-blooded reptile.
I don't know. I'm getting 3 extinct swimming reptiles: the ichthyosaurs, plesiosaurs, and mosasaurs. Which I would feel like it would be difficult to prove.
Right, because then I'm getting back to how.
Alright, so I think we're going to sum this all up by explaining that D&D dragons are warm-blooded, and also, even though they are...
Wait, is that actually the D&D?
That is actually the thing. They are warm-blooded, and they have the body structure more akin to a feline than a reptile.
What? No, don't. What? Ugh. No, don't ruin dragons for me.
Dragons.
No, do not ruin dragons.
Well,
but those are all still animals.
The idea is that they're more graceful than a common reptile.
I know, but this all started because I said stuffed animals.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You said not all are animals,
right.
And I said only the good ones. And you said, what do you have against dragons? But dragons are animals.
Right. So, okay, so
I'm
Kingdom
just that was
Animalia.
me being overly technical.
Okay.
Kingdom Animalia. Are they mammals?
Dragons?
Or they're warm blooded, right? More like a cat. What are they?
It depends on the universe.
Oh, they
In
are
the case of
badass dinosaurs with wings, and they can breathe fire, and that's it.
But mine are warm blooded, so they
I
don't have
don't
to
care
be like,
about the blood. They can produce fire. Of course, it's warm blooded.
In my universe,
you can't even
they're
cool
just-
that blood down because there's fire in their bellies.
well, what about the ones
Ooh.
that breathe, say, cold or acid or lightning?
Junkblade, I just can't. It all starts as fire. It's just different colors.
In my universe, I changed them all to giant cats now. They're just all big cats.
I no, I refuse to live in that universe.
Still with wings, but just big cats.
Hey, you gave me a hard time when I sent you that cat bus picture
Which one?
from
I like that.
anime movie.
Well, that's different.
Oh.
Cat bust. Yeah, okay, all right.
I know which anime movie he's talking about, too.
That's different. That is completely different.
Even though I haven't seen it.
No,
I know which one
haven't
he's talking about.
either. Okay. Speaking of D&D dragons, I believe we're going to dive into the world of D&D again with Junkblades.
Hey, all right. Perfect transition.
Alright, so, first things first, there is a new campaign being added to the rotation that I will not be a part of, for two reasons. First of all, I don't really like 5th edition that much, personally. I don't find it all that fun, and
For what reason? Because as somebody who doesn't understand,
it feels like... Okay, so, you know how Hearthstone feels like a watered-down Magic the Gathering?
sure.
Sometimes it feels like a watered down version of my preferred edition. There's
Okay.
just so much more I can do in my preferred edition than I can do in this one. But I would be willing to suffer through that if I could find like a character concept I was able to play that I really liked. But alas, that does not appear to
Would
be
this
the case.
version be easier to play like remotely?
Yes, I am good with running it for you guys if we
We
want to
should
do
do
that someday.
Okay.
But in terms of actually playing in such a thing, it's not for me, generally.
Okay.
We should do that and stream it. That's what we should do.
We should. That would be a lot of fun.
We could do that. So,
How many people do we need?
technically, two.
'Cause
One person to be the dungeon master, and any number of players.
All right, we're in business. I was about to say, because I've got bad news. If it's any more than the three of us,
I think
that's
but,
the ball game.
The way to... it would just require that I balance things around there only being two people in the party, which isn't that big of a deal.
Surely we can get somebody else.
Well, I bet. Here's the thing: can we do it so that people can Can we have like a pocket universe, like a mini bag, where characters can just jump in and out? Because so we could have like, I'm sure Jay Money would join us, or Tommy Tom.
Yeah, I have no issue with characters just kind of showing up for a session or two, then disappearing for a while, then coming back and such.
Like, for instance, could we just have everything, either they just share the experience no matter what, or we just scale everything very gradually so that people don't get it? I think there's multiple.
Okay.
There's lots of different ways we could do it, and I'm good with pretty much any of them.
All right. Well, let's think about that offline a bit.
Yes. So anyway, not going to be playing that campaign simply because I can't find a character concept I want to play that works in the world the Dungeon Master wants to do. My campaign, however, will be resuming this Saturday, and I think we're going to finish off the module that I have been running for the party, known as the Shattered Gates of Slaughterguard.
I forgot about Slaughter Guard. We had a good discussion about Slaughter Guard.
Oh.
They're going to be dealing with a Knoll shaman and the demons that they are going to be summoning.
Now, are gnolls intelligent? I thought they were...
They're intelligent.
Okay.
They're
like hyena people, right?
They're hyena people.
Are they? Who are the smelly ones? Those are those are
Troglodytes.
Yeah. I'm just keeping my mythical races, and not that they all have to, I don't want to put all troglodytes into a box. Some of them probably care about hygiene.
It's a diverse world.
Right.
It's a diverse world.
I do like when people run campaigns where not like every orc has to be bad kind of thing, little nuance in there.
I try to not always follow exactly what the module says and play the bad guys more like actual people. Like, sometimes, yeah, the bad guy is completely fanatic and will literally fight to the death. Other times, they have things I care about. They're just not good people. And other times, sometimes they're just, hey, we're only doing this because the alternative is the leader kills us.
I actually fun fact, there's a difference between if I'm playing a game, I don't need a lot of nuance in my bad guys. I'm fine if they're just stock bad guy, and that way, and I don't have any qualms about killing them kind of thing. I'm fine if they're just, I don't need to feel, remorse about them having, conflicting, I'm just saying, for me, I'm fine with, I'm just bad because I'm bad and I want to do bad things. And I'm like, all right, I got to stop you. I'm fine with that. I don't need a lot of.
If they're able to make a guy, I at least understand why someone maybe could do that, but that doesn't mean I have to care.
Right. Exactly. That's
I agree. Right? I do not. Yeah, I do not need. It's not something that I require to really, get an enjoyment out of a story itself.
Well, an example of that sort of bad guy. The campaign I'm running is going to eventually go to higher levels. After they get done with the stuff in Slaughter Guard, we're going into another module called the Red Hand of Doom, which goes from level 5 to level 10. And after that, I'm running what's called an Elder Evils campaign, where they're going to have to deal with the 3 great beasts of the apocalypse.
I was really hoping it was going to be old people. Not bad old people.
It reminds me of the Penny Arcade comic strip where it's just a quick aside, but the character Gabriel is playing D&D with Tycho, and not their long-running D&D characters that appear in that comic strip, but just a one-off. He plays an old wizard with Alzheimer's or something, which I just think was really funny. Not that obviously Alzheimer's is funny, but in a facetious way.
A forgetful wizard, perhaps.
Yes, exactly. A forgetful wizard.
The one I remember for some reason is them discussing the Shadowfell, and Tycho's like, "Oh, there's a place far worse than the Shadowfell," and Gabe's just like, "Wait, how can something be worse than the Shadowfell? Doesn't that basically mean the Dark Bad?"
Yeah,
the Dark Bad is an entirely different place. And then he has this chart of the Shadowfell, the Dark Bad, and a few other things.
I love that. Yeah. Does that mean the Dark Bad? No.
So yeah, one of the villains in the campaign is going to be someone who wants to bring about the apocalypse because they're evil and insane. So
sure, kind of like a Sephiroth thing.
Yeah. So basically, not only should you not feel any qualms about killing this person, but it's going to feel really good when you beat them into the ground.
Yeah.
See, actually, Sephiroth is my ideal villain because they give him a good motivation. It makes sense that he went insane after everything he went to, not realizing that he was born in a laboratory, created and all of his sense, and so he has this huge psychotropic break, and they made him way too strong. It's good, but I had no qualms about stopping him.
I think the real reason he went crazy is that sword's too long. Carrying that thing around, he probably accidentally stabbed so many people.
Yeah,
I mean that's got to wear on a guy after a while.
I do like the kind of villain you're talking about, Valen, where it's okay, I do sympathize with you. I feel bad for you, but you've got to go regardless.
Right. Yeah.
But we're taking it a bit too far.
Right. Maybe you just needed some therapy. I do want to bring up. I actually brought up that Shadowfell comic. I want to walk through the levels descending from Shadowfell, which is, of all of these options, is the best. It goes Shadowfell, then we go down to the Shadow Dark, then the Dark Bad, and then Shadow Bobado. Now we go down to Double Hell, and finally Scary Town.
Scary Town. Oh, that's very good.
And doesn't he say, like, Scary Town must be a pretty bad place, huh? And Tycho's just like, it depends on when you go.
Yes, yeah. He says, wow, Scary Town must be a real shithole. Yeah, Tycho, well, it depends on when you go. I want to bring up something. I think our bot count is going up.
Skyrocketing.
We have 6 of them now, and they're bots I've seen before, but it raises to me. And
are they all bots? Do you think?
I mean, I haven't clicked on them individually. I know that Slow Cool is. I know that Decaf Smurf is. Commander Root is. I've seen all of those before. I haven't seen
Apricot
Gaming.
Droop Fruit is hosting Commander Root, so that's probably one.
So yeah, I would have guessed then a bot of some sort. Commander Root. So Mapmon Gaming could be a person.
That's a person who's streaming right now. So I don't quite get what is going on there. But
well, maybe the idea is by being in our chat in our channel, we'll like click on theirs and see what they're streaming, kind of thing.
Genius, you're a genius. And
well, because I don't think there's any.
Kyber is also somebody.
Like a real, well, Zane Kyber, if you're actually there,
who's also streaming right now.
See, that's got to be. There's got to be. I would bet you a freshly minted penny. Well, actually, this one. I've got a penny right here. That's really.
What year is it?
Sorry, it's actually really 1980.
Okay, what mint are we talking about here?
How do I
Does it
tell
have
that?
a letter under the year or no?
It's really dark. No letter.
I believe that is the main one.
Main penny. Okay. I'm gonna bet you.
D, which is Denver, I think, and an S, which is Sanford. Okay, we don't have to get into pennies.
I would bet you that penny that there's some sort of program out there you can download, and then it'll immediately just find a bunch of random people that are streaming, and I don't know how, put you in the chat.
Okay.
Because then the idea would be, well,
I clicked on it, but I ain't following unless you follow first. Whoever he shouts into the ether.
Right. It's kind of like I know that this was a thing back in the day. You got a Twitter bot and it would follow a bunch of people because then you get the follow backs, not only the automatic follow backs, but sometimes actual people actually following back.
Yeah.
So it's another game, man. A lot of games out there. We play it real though.
That's right.
How many followers? Our 40 followers. Real. Yes. Well, actually, I don't know. These people might have followed.
I don't think so.
I'll see about advertising us a little bit more to my friends.
We should put literally any effort into it, shouldn't we?
Yes. That's kind of what I was thinking. I should have actually put some effort into advertising this instead
just the smallest iota of effort.
And then we might actually get followers.
Well, you know what?
Viewers.
What bugs me is I'm gonna throw this out here. So, yeah, Doc, do you have it open on Twitch? And Junkblade, do you have it open on Twitch?
Yes.
And I do too. So I'm positive that our viewer count of what seems to be 4 right now is account 3 of those, I think, are probably us. However, if they're going to be a user and they're going to show up in our chat room and be able to, I suppose, watch this, if they're not showing up as a user watching us, I don't want them there.
I never trust the watching now number though. I don't know when that updates because it's just.
Well, what I'm saying is if probably. You're more likely to have people watch you if you have more people watching. So
I'll check the stats after this is over and see if it counts them in the thing or not. But yeah, it's a weird.
Well, I wonder when people. I mean, I guess you'd have to go pretty down the talk show list to even find us, but
yeah,
having for example 9 people in there instead of 4, I don't know, might make a difference.
I bet we could do that if we just threw it out there on a couple of things. Or
yeah, literally anything. Yeah, so. That's fair. or like actually do it on the same day every week.
Okay,
I bet.
I think that's probably too much to ask. But,
Probably.
That's probably too much to ask.
but I think we're doing a pretty good job of keeping it.
Hey, we've been doing a lot.
consistent.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot better. So
So yeah, you guys are
so
getting
we-
a lot of inside baseball on our podcast philosophy here. So
We
yeah,
have not
that's
discussed our
free.
favorite item in a game yet.
the main topic. He said
We started out and then we got off on a tangent.
Okay, who's
Okay.
got one to start us off here?
I can.
Okay, Junkblade, yeah, you go because mine is very. Warm,
All right, so I played Diablo 3 and the expansion on Xbox, sadly, because if I played on the Blizzard app, I could play with friends. But the weapon I found that I liked the most on my Crusader was Exarian. In days long past, the now ruined city of Kamhala was ruled by a wise Nephilim king. The symbol of his authority was the sword Exarian, gifted to him by the Lady of Light. Legend has it that, though betrayed and gravely wounded during Kamhala's fall, the king did not die, but was borne away across the sea to return when Sanctuary needs him again. The reappearance of Exarian heralds his return.
Boy,
That is
is
a
the
lot
most
of-
original story I've ever heard, I think.
And
It doesn't sound anything like another sword that a lady
Yeah.
gave to a dude who got betrayed. And then, wait, hang on.
well, yes, I think you can.
I'm
see
not saying it's
why
not
it
good.
was-
You just kind of kept going, and I was like, wait a second.
Yes, I knew you guys would
You just-
recognize
you
what
just-
it was
you just-
immediately. But I can link this in the chat to prove I'm not just making this up.
Oh, no, you just gave up on spelling Excalibur, my friends. You said, wow, it's too long.
So yeah, I found that, and it was basically the default weapon for my character from then on. Anytime I got a new weapon, even if it was good, I would always change it to look like it, because
That was a genius
Blizzard-
move in that game.
that was a genius move in general. I think that's something literally every MMO should do, where as long as you've had another version of a weapon, you can change any weapon to look like that if you
Yeah.
want.
Well, that's probably a good idea.
It only costs 500 gold to do in Diablo. Actually, I think it's like, for a legendary, it's more like 15,000 or 25,000.
That's
But
still
it's- that's
that's still
like a-
nothing. Oh my god!
At the point where you're actually using stuff like that, it's a pittance.
Ah.
Like, my Crusader is level 70 or 80, whatever the cap was when they
No, you
released
get
the
away from here. Yeah, no,
When
not
they,
closer.
released the Reaper of Souls expansion, which I found quite enjoyable to play. Ooh, and you got to. I mentioned earlier how satisfying it is to beat some villains into the dirt. There was one that was really, really satisfying to just crush.
How many
lot of,
spiders are down here?
What? What's going on?
An enormous spider just came into my sphere of influence. Hang on.
And there's a bunch more.
Not as big, but Jesus Christ.
I try to like set spiders free and stuff, but there is a limit where there's a point where I just can't.
There's a size that I just cannot deal with. And there seem to be so many of them that it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm sorry. What?
House of Spiders,
Diablo 3's got great weapons.
which could probably be an expansion for many of the games we've talked about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I had one of those I was like kneeling, I was like on the floor, and I had one walk out from between my legs. That was the other day, which was... I made a very masculine noise. Okay.
You challenge me?
Ah, spider!
All right, Doc, hit me with an item. If you don't have one, I can throw
Okay,
one out there.
here's one. I'm gonna go with Knights of the Round in Final
Okay, that's
Fantasy VII.
I mean, summon, but sure, whatever.
Yes. I mean, it's a piece of materia, which is an item. So you know what?
That's fair.
Seems fair.
That's fair.
But yes, just I'm a big fan of summons in Final Fantasy, and this one, just the process of getting it was just an odyssey in itself. And then you cast it, and you can go like make a sandwich.
I love it though.
The amount of time it takes to summon like the 13 knights and then King Arthur.
Sort of like how when Sephiroth uses his solar system destroying blast.
Is that yeah, the supernova or whatever, and it goes through like every goddamn planet.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, time to go up and get a drink. Okay, it's happening again. Time for a sandwich.
Oh, the sun's bubbling. That looks bad. How much damage? Okay, I'm fine. I couldn't. I think there's a similar one in Final Fantasy IX that is just like, what? Why? What? You've oversold it, guys.
Yeah, we get it.
You've destroyed the same planetary body so many times. Well, no, that was immensely satisfying to just. As soon as I got it, I think I just ran into a field and just like wasted these two like rabbits or something. And it was just.
I've heard it's like one of the most powerful summon you can get in the game, or one of the most.
Yeah,
it can just tear through everything.
It does. Each knight does like thousands of damage, and there's
okay, that makes sense.
I think 12 or 13 of them. So.
Oh hey, we've got an actual person saying actual things. We're on a tear tonight. DJ down south saying we should organize the cams according to hair length. That would actually make sense. We're close. We would just need to shoot me to the left, you middle, Doc, and Junkblade go far right.
So we'd have to move literally everybody? I don't know if we're that close then.
Well,
I mean, I'm thinking like if it's...
Doc, you and Valen could just move, because then it could be from longest hair to shortest.
No, I don't like... Okay, so I'm like the future. It's like 3 stages of...
Okay, it's a little dark.
Well, I like to darken it up a little.
Or I really need to get going on my facial hair. That could be the third.
Oh wait. Yeah, because that would be good. You need the middle beard then, Doc. You could be the middle on everything.
I need the crazy beard. We just go by beard length.
I'm just saying it'd be good if we could do both. Like,
I just wish I could grow a beard, period. But
you could do the crazy mustache where it's like your sideburns turn into the mustache.
Oh, I always like that crazy. I could actually do that.
I say that would require me be able to grow any of those things that you mentioned, and it's just.
I'm actually probably going to shave this off. I should just shave it off into the crazy mustache right now
for at least a day.
Do like one day of crazy mustache.
Okay,
so I want to get rid of this. Here, 1 second. You guys, can you talk for 3 minutes?
Yeah, we can talk for 3 minutes.
What's another item that was very cool?
This will be fun because we'll have a record of it.
When I was a kid, I always enjoyed the medallions in Link to the Past. I'm a big spell person, I guess is what it turns out. But like Quake and Bombos and Ether, I always enjoyed the animations that they did, and it like affected everything on screen, which was always cool. But what were you going to say, Junkblade?
I was going to say, did you ever play Majora's Mask? Because that had a couple of different cool items you could get, especially the masks.
Speaking of Zelda, thank you very much for the follow. But I've started Majora's Mask several times, but I've never seen it through to the end. I keep meaning to, but have not gotten around. Which one in particular are you thinking?
Having the mirror shield back is cool, although they change it. They changed the design of it so that it's got like this weird screaming face on it.
Oh, the creepy face. That game's just kind of creepy.
That game is just kind of creepy.
It's very impressive for a Nintendo 64 game, but yeah.
Yes. I personally very much like it, and the way I've always described it compared to Ocarina of Time is that I feel like Ocarina of Time is better in terms of mechanics, but I like the story of Majora's Mask better because it's a bit more personal and down to earth. Yeah, there's nothing inherently wrong with Ocarina of Time's story. It's
just the more like the grand epic as opposed to a more
it's
like you were saying
more of
personal.
a grand epic.
It's such a different thing, right?
Yeah, there's.
I don't think this is my look, but
oh my god, that was so.
He did say he was doing it.
I don't know. It's
I kind of like it.
Well,
what do you think, guys? Do you think this is me now?
Boy,
I've seen it look worse on people. I have definitely seen it look worse.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to like pick a fancy hat.
Yes.
Wait. All right.
Yeah, like I've read stuff about the different story, like the different side quests that add so much to the story, and I just have never gotten around to going through all of those to kind of get the full experience out of it. Whereas like Ocarina of Time is very much like the whole story is kind of on the main path, kind of thing.
I feel like it's the kind of thing where
Doc, how about this?
I think it's a winner. I think we're in.
I think it's the kind of thing where you, Valen, and I would have to all be in the same place, sitting down, and I would have to be like encouraging you guys to continue.
I need you guys to move closer. Is I think the main thing I'm getting from podcasting.
It would be a lot of fun if we could actually be in like the same place and do it.
Yeah, and then play old games and stuff. Yeah.
I think the mirror shield in general is just one of my favorite items. Oh, the Z Saber in Mega Man X3. That's a good one.
Okay.
I don't remember. Could you describe the Z Saber to me?
It is an upgrade to your Buster, and unlike Zero, who uses it as an actual saber, you just like shoot out this blade that does like 1/2 to 2/3 of an enemy's HP worth of damage.
Pretty good. And it looks cool too, if I recall correctly.
It looks pretty cool. Also, the golden armor in X3 is pretty awesome.
They did. I think they progressively got kind of cooler in terms of being fully upgraded in the Mega Man X games.
I agree.
I'll definitely second the Mirror Shield because they've always got a lot of cool puzzles and stuff involved in that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to call out the characterization of Valen's new look as Indiana Marston is quite good.
Oh yeah, combination of Indiana Jones and the guy from, is that Red Dead Redemption?
Yep, it is.
Oh!
I'll take that. Hey, honestly, that's way better than that's way better than I could hope for with this look. I would.
All right, okay, Valen, what's your item that you've got?
I do want to state before I talk about my item that I am completely sober right now, and so I have no excuse for my item. Okay, so I've got a couple. I guess I'll start with Destiny. I really liked the Universal Remote.
That was a good
which for those of you who don't know, in the original Destiny, in general, the shotgun was a secondary, a special item, but this one was a primary weapon, which means you always in multiplayer started with ammo for it. And it had, for a while, it had the longest range of any shotgun, and especially it did extra damage if you were aiming at the head, so you could get a really solid headshot from decent range there. And then the damage would increase with kills, so I would chain kills together. I really enjoyed the Universal Remote. Outside of that game, I'd have to go to like something like Final Fantasy Tactics. There were, in a game that's set in a medieval fantasy world, there were magic guns that you could shoot, and then they would do magic damage to people.
What was the class? What was the class that did that?
Well, there were a couple. Generally, though, that like the easiest class to get that could use the guns is just your basic chemist could carry a gun.
Okay. I'd say I'm thinking of Tactics Advance, which maybe had some differences in the classes, but I agree that those were very cool weapons.
Ooh, Gunblade and Final Fantasy VIII. So DJ down south, I don't know if we've got. I don't want to drive you away. I don't know if we've got a bunch of Final Fantasy VIIIs here.
I'll tell you what, the Gunblade was cool. The mechanic to get it to work sucked. And the rest of the game bumped me. You had to time the button press to fire the gun as you I just could not do it.
Yeah, that was really.
I think I've got some sort of weird mental defect where the only Final Fantasy games I like aren't actually mainline Final Fantasy games.
So hit us with a. So you didn't like 7?
I don't know why, but I just can't quite get into it. I think it's like you guys in Majora's Mask. I would want you guys there playing it with me.
I wonder if you would like 9 more.
I might like 9 more. I might like 6 more. I might like a
4
few of them.
Very good.
But while we're on the topic of Final Fantasy, I just want to say, since I'm having trouble finding Suikoden 2 legally, I am going to actually play and beat Final Fantasy Tactics. Because you, Valen, have done so, Madamus has done so, Tommy Tom has done so. I feel like I need to do it myself as well.
If you do it, I would highly recommend, because it's a lot of fun. You can get Cloud in the game. But you've got to do very specific things at specific times. But I would look up how to do that. And it also helps you unlock, there's a secret area, a secret dungeon you can go to with really good items and special monsters and stuff. So look up the secret places, because there are a few of them in Final Fantasy Tactics, and make that a part of it. Or you could just run the main storyline, but I really enjoy the kind of the side things, the optional stuff that's hidden away.
I love it when games do that.
Guys, I have a terrifying update.
Good.
The spider I thought I had vanquished is gone.
Oh, you didn't? You thought you killed the
spider? It sure looked dead to me.
Oh man! And now it's gonna be out for revenge.
So, keep an eye on me, and watch my back.
We will do so.
I mean, if something happens to you, Doc, I'm not gonna fight spiders.
I will fight spiders for you, Doc.
I mean, that's kind of a low hurdle, but if they're I don't know, if a spider could take you out, that's got to be quite a spider, unless it's just like, I don't know, Black Widow or something.
Yeah, that would be not a good one. Okay, well, you said you had a few. Were there any other ones that you had?
Me, yeah. I mean, I could probably keep going with items. I'm trying to think though, in the vein of like actual popular games, because
we can do. We don't have to do.
Okay, well, let's actually Ocarina of Time.
Very
for whatever reason,
niche game. Everybody.
Yeah, and my
go check it out though. It's old, but it's go check it out.
Yeah,
it doesn't consistently make #1 game of all time on top 100 lists or anything crazy like that.
I just really liked the bow in that game. I mean, I know that's not crazy or anything, but
well, I mean, that was the first one with like. Well, I guess you had silver arrows in Link to the Past, but that was the first one with like fire, ice, light arrows.
It does help, I think, that the Forest Temple is just so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Like, the Forest Temple is a perfect example of a place or a thing in a game where I want to know more about this place, but there's nothing. It's just a weird random mansion in the middle of the Lost Woods.
Yeah, that would be and yeah, just with like the layout of it. No, I think the bow and plus that going first person with a bow was not something that you'd done a ton up to that point. So I think the bow was legit.
Also, it's filled only with plants and undead, which is its own little what the heck happened here sort of thing.
And flying skulls, which I guess could be undead, but they're just...
I filed those under undead.
I suppose.
But like the 4 Poe sisters, for example.
Oh, yeah. No, that was definitely a good dungeon. Great music.
Great music, great layout. I might have to use that in the D&D campaign I'm running as a dungeon, because Always really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, that would absolutely work. That'd be a great.
Also, it gives me an excuse to replay Ocarina of Time, and you can never have enough of those.
That's true. Great game. Great game.
Yeah. Doc, do you have any more? I just feel like there's so many out there
I'm trying to think of one that went off the beaten path a little bit.
I do like items that do ridiculous things. That's what I'm actually kind of struggling with is some
like the joke items from Soul Calibur 2.
I don't remember. You'd have to hit me with some Soul Calibur 2, which you're talking about the fighting game, right?
Yeah, every character had a joke item that you could eventually buy. So, like, in the GameCube version, Link, you could get the fishing net. Nightmare, you could get just literally an oar.
Okay. Right. Did that actually affect the amount of damage you did, or is that just...
Yes, they dealt almost no damage, and they made funny sounds when you hit people with them.
Cool, okay. That's
kind of a cool, I like when games kind of have like a fun thing that if people really want to go deep and it's not necessarily going to break the experience.
Yeah, I think get those, you had to play quest mode and get to the final area, which was a nightmare. I think you had to max out your level, which meant you just had to not only beat quest mode normally, but replay places that gave you lots of experience so that you could hit level 70 instead of being stuck at level like 55.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun.
I'm mostly, I'd say you brought up the Universal Remote, and I'm thinking of mostly Destiny items, I think, because like the Vision of Confluence, I was a big believer in that early on, and I turned out to be correct, which was always a
that's fun. Now, was Vision of Confluence, was that a scout rifle?
That was the scout, the solar scout rifle that like had auto fire, I think, and stuff. It became ridiculous, but like that, and then that ship, that dump truck ship.
For the non-Destiny players, a scout rifle, like a longer range, generally a semi-auto weapon, but the one that Doc stumbled upon and used very successfully. And the ship, completely vestigial, had just ornamental, no actual.
But it's just the biggest, chunkiest thing. I think it was
still don't like that ship.
It's called The Birth of History, I think, which I enjoyed also.
Great name.
I've never played Destiny, but I'll certainly give it that the names of things are fantastic.
There are some good names. What was we did have a lot of fun with the Mechaneer's trick sleeves. Much to T-Bob's chagrin, because we would just...
and just so everyone knows, we just liked the name of this item. The Mechaneer's trick sleeves. It's just it's a great name for something. I would actually equip it quite a bit. All it would do was make you reload a sidearm class weapon faster. But
was that what? Did it also like really decrease like equip time or something like that?
Yes, it would. You could pull out the sidearm faster and reload it faster, kind of thing. So it was good if you liked sidearms. But
so we would do that and then riff on Tricky for about 7 minutes, which was always a lot of fun.
In general, if we're talking about a gun game where you get to choose what kind of gun you equip, I'm saying this is very generalized, but and this is fitting for how I look right now. But I always like my good overpowered 6-shooter is what that's.
Oh yeah,
so like
the hand
cannons in general in Destiny. I'm trying to think though, but that's just any game. Like that's I like. Oh, when we did play D&D a million years ago, I chose like the gunslinger class or something. And I just had my trusty pistol.
Did you name it like Bertha or Barbara?
Yeah, it was either Bertha or Barbara. I'd have to find that character.
You got like a couple. You named every gun, right?
Still, I think it's in a folder that I've hidden in my room somewhere secret.
That'd be great if that still existed. What were you saying, Doc?
I was gonna say Destiny might be the best. Like in terms of like hand cannons that like for that I've enjoyed like using. I can't think of a game where I've liked that more because like I haven't been into them as much as you have for like, but I would definitely rock a hand cannon in Destiny because that they had that feeling kind of down.
Oh, I think, yeah, I'm trying to think of the games I'm thinking of were. What am I thinking of?
Because like the pistol in Halo 1 was great, but that just didn't have like that wasn't quite
No,
as
they didn't have
satisfying for
that.
me because
Yeah.
you like scoped in and just kind of you didn't have
like
the weight to it.
For instance, in Rimworld, which is just a 2D colony builder, you can equip weapons, and one of the weapons is a revolver. So sometimes I just give everybody revolvers because it just, I don't know. It's got a great little sound to it, and the rate of fire just kind of it gives you that Wild West feel.
Yeah.
I would bet, I haven't really played much of it, even though I look like one of the characters apparently, that I would bet in Red Dead Redemption you can have some fun with revolvers.
It sounds like you should play Red Dead Redemption 2.
Is it getting a lot of...
I mean, people are... It's not even out yet, but people are just going apeshit over it.
The boomerang blade from Rage.
I never played Rage. That's an FPS from id, erstwhile Doom developers, I believe. But they're making a Rage 2. I know that.
Well, I do love the idea of any sort of weapon. So any sword. Okay, I'm also a huge fan of swords in game.
Swords are good.
But I love the idea of one that you could, especially in an FPS. I love the idea of one you could throw and it would come back to you. That sounds fun.
I'm just reminded of Oddjob's hat from
Goldfinger.
James Bond multiplayer, which everyone freaking hated because it was an item that insta-killed you.
Wait, could you throw the hat in the game?
I didn't know you could throw the hat.
I don't know if that was in GoldenEye. It might have been in one of the later ones.
Okay. I think you're right.
Because I distinctly remember playing a multiplayer game on the GameCube with the cousins.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they did a couple different 007 games on the game.
And then you could throw Oddjob's hat, and it was an insta-kill weapon that you got for free. It was a one-shot.
But you just had it when you spawned with the character kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they really just leaned into the no one likes the person who plays Oddjob.
Yeah, it was... It was either multiplayer and Agent Under Fire, or...
Man, I didn't even know those were things.
Hang on, I think I have Agent Under Fire. Do a little test here. I do. Boy.
It was either that one or one other, but don't remember what the other one was. I can look it up later. Right. Apparently, the boomerang blade did something similar. It decapitated enemies, and if successful, would return.
Yeah.
I enjoy...
The name fits.
I enjoy weapons that are... Like, I like a weapon that's very tough to use, but then when you successfully, do it, it's,
just wrecks people.
Yeah, and it's very satisfying. It's just kind of like the hand cannon in Destiny, or... I'm trying to think of a good one in Halo.
The energy sword, Spartan laser was good.
Spartan laser and energy sword are both a lot of fun. Spartan laser was great, especially if you hit a full truckload of people with it.
I just remembered another item I really like from the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Chrysamere, the Paladin's Blade. It's my favorite two-handed weapon in the game, pretty much by far. I found it searching randomly on one character, and then ever since that, now that I know where to find it, I had to look up later where to find it again.
Oh, so you found it without looking it up, though?
I found it without looking it up the first time, and then had to look it up again later. And now I pretty much remember where it is, and just go for it every single time, because it's the iconic weapon for me. It's literally my favorite sword in the game.
Man, there's got to be... I haven't played Skyrim in forever, but there's got to be some weapon. I'm sure I had a favorite weapon in that.
My favorite weapon in that is from the Dark Brotherhood quest line, the Blade of Woe.
I didn't do the Dark Brotherhood because I'm a good guy and I don't deal with assassins.
Well, you didn't even hear him out, Valen.
That is completely fair.
It's a brotherhood.
I did the Dark Brotherhood quest for both Skyrim and Oblivion. A lot of people say they like Oblivion's better, but I actually like Skyrim's better.
I never played Oblivion. So.
It would. I think it would take too long to go into the details of both the Dark Brotherhood quest lines.
I do remember I've had Madamus once.
We'll have you make a YouTube video about it.
Here's why Skyrim's better than just do one of those really aggressive titles.
No, just a rundown of the Dark Brotherhood stories in this video.
Here's my take on them.
Okay, and on that hot take,
are we at our hour?
Well, I think we're past it because of all the awesome conversations we've had.
Shoot, well, we gotta, since we actually have DJ Down South number 7 in the chat, we gotta ask.
Are there any questions?
Yeah, any questions you might have. The fun part, DJ Down South, about the question portion of the video is we usually allot 0 time to that portion of the show because, well, you can guess why. But since you are here, hit us with your questions.
And after the question portion, I can finish my talk of the ends of Hollow Knight.
We might have to save that till next time, because if we're already over our hour, DJ Down, I think we push that till. It's always good.
It's a little tease for next week.
Yeah, it's always good to have stuff stored up too, so we don't have.
Fair enough.
So we're not always gonna get to that hour.
We are not a font of content.
Yeah, this is weird because I'm not used to having somebody in chat and then having to kind of stall for a little bit until he might or might not, or she may or may not ask a question, kind of thing. It's weird. It's a weird feeling. I am gonna have to remember episode 26 because maybe I won't want to remember it, but you guys will if you want to blackmail me and show me in this hat with this specific.
I think it's a winner. I don't, I think
you look great, Evan.
Like an eye patch or a monocle or some sort of eyepiece, and I think we're in.
Do you guys know where I want to get? I was gonna do for fun, just for you guys. I was gonna do a Pro ZD style video. I wrote a little skit the other day, but then I realized I think you'll like it. I went a little bit dark with the humor, but I think in the same way that he will. So I think you'll enjoy it. However,
I have little doubt of that.
I realized, but to make it, to really sell it, I wanted some costume items like he has, but I don't even know where to. I want a doctor's coat, and then I'll need a fake mustache, I guess. Maybe a hat. I mean, I guess I got the hat, but where do I get a doctor's coat, but a cheap one, and then a fake mustache, also cheap? I don't want to spend too much,
Well, I'm gonna say Amazon, unless you want to go to a medical supply store.
Yeah, I guess everything's just Amazon. Right?
Plus, there's pop-up Halloween stores all over my town right now. So if you drive 2 minutes in any direction, you should probably be able to find one of those too.
Yeah, I walked into a costume store the other day in Reno, and it was apparently only for women. First of all, and then second of all. Almost all the costumes were more on the, I would say, sultry side than actually costume side. So, it didn't work out for me. I would have gone if I could have found some sexy scrubs. Sure.
Now hang on.
But they didn't even have. They didn't have scrubs. So, or a doctor's coat was what I asked about. But yeah, I would. I mean, if. Sex sells. I would have done what I needed to show a little skin to bring in those viewers.
Does anyone know what Somerset is?
It's the island of the High Elves in the Elder Scrolls universe.
Oh boy.
So what's... Do you know the update he's talking about?
I have no idea.
Oh no, and the After Hours update in GTA 5. I would have to... We don't have
play either of those games.
I think Somerset is the update for Elder Scrolls Online, which none of us play.
Well, I think it's good, but doesn't do quite enough to draw people in, as evidenced by the fact that I've continued to not play that game.
J Money might have been able to do the GTA 5 one.
And I think GTA just needs to stop. It's too old.
I really like, but how like J Money plays it. You can do the cop mod.
He is very silly.
Just plays being a cop. Like, it's great. Traffic stops, just really mundane. He plays games like I like playing them. Just
well, why isn't he streaming that?
he should, honestly. He'd be hilarious at it.
Okay.
I mean, all right. Anyway, on that note, failing at the 2 questions we've received in the last eight?
We're out of
8
practice.
episodes.
This isn't easy.
It's no. Hey, it's not. It's not at all. It's just funny that the 2 questions we get, it's, like, oh, all right. But hey, stop by next week, DJ. Ask us more questions that we can fail to answer. Who knows?
We'll put our best people on those 2 questions and then make sure to get them answered.
Or hey, just send us a message with a suggested topic. That way we don't have to come up with a topic.
That would lighten our load considerably.
I should have actually sold that more as us being magnanimous and letting him choose rather than...
You're part of the curtain a bit there.
Okay, excited about Days Gone. Is anyone excited about Days Gone?
No. It's a zombie game.
Oh.
Is that the one, the graphic one?
No, that's Last of Us 2. This one's like a little more arcadey, I think, in terms like there's like faster I watched the first trailer and I was like, okay, it's a zombie game, and I have not pursued it since.
Is it with
it comes out early next year?
Yeah, I guess my problem is I've kind of out of the whole zombie.
Other issue for you two is that it's a PS4 exclusive, I think.
Oh yeah, I don't have any current generation consoles.
Bit of a non-starter.
Well, yeah. I guess I guess you have to get it then, so that we can talk about it.
Let me make sure I'm right. Oh boy.
If it is, that's your purview.
Exclusive.
All right, we were 0 for 3 today. I mean, we were just like,
well, I'd heard of it. That's something.
Okay. Should we say 1 for 3? Because then we're basically.
No, I mean, I guess I answered it, but the answer was just no, which is a bummer. But
yeah, I actually, yeah, okay. So 1 for 3. So we're an excellent pro baseball player, batting .333. We could sign on to any team in the league. Did I lose you guys?
No.
DJ down south.
I did. I think I lost you guys.
And he'll bring friends next time. That's
excellent.
Okay. So maybe we should figure out a day next week right now so that DJ down south knows when to tune in.
Oh boy.
Any Monday through Wednesday I can do.
Yes.
Wednesday. Let's just say Wednesday.
Yeah.
We'll say Wednesday.
Yeah.
Barring me actually, even if I get scheduled for work, that'll still work fine because Wednesday it's only up until 7. So yeah, Wednesday sounds great.
Wednesday.
We usually start around 9:30 Central Time. DJ down south.
Oh yeah, I guess the catch is you got to keep that Chester A. Arthur beard.
Is that as for a whole week?
South describes it.
I've got to go out into public. I guess I could probably stay.
You have to do it for the followers.
Wait, if I have to shave something weird for one follower, and we don't even know that.
The promise of friends, though, Valen.
I don't know if I'm already whoring myself out. I've got no principles, no nothing.
Well, okay, just take a Sharpie. Let's color that
this
bottom
is not
part
getting
in,
better.
And don't get very close to people.
This is not getting better.
From a distance, people are like, oh, he's got a beard.
I don't want to be one of the. Not that we stream for anybody, but I don't want to be one of those streamers who looks weird to try to get more people to watch him. You know,
I still think we're pretty low on that.
Yeah, we are very. I get it. We can't even come close to sellout territory if nobody's asking us to. Anyway, on that note,
all right,
we're gonna end episode 26.
See what facial hair Valen is rocking next week.
Mm-hmm. That'll give us episode's 27's title, the Chester A. Arthur look. Or
I like
Indiana Marston's very good. So
we'll deliberate between those two.
all right.
All right.
And then we'll just have maybe we take a photo of me and I don't, and we'll pretend that my screen just froze, kind of thing. All right. Anyway, on that note, that's the end of the episode. DJ Down South, thanks for stopping by. This is Valen signing off. You guys can do your own sign offs, or maybe this is it for all of us. Bye.
Have a good one,
Have
everybody.
a good one.